I don't.
They get a click on them and they get deleted right off the bat.
Most of my email
sends me shit.
Yeah, every morning I wake up and just did.
That's why I never believed in emails. That's a little bit too personal.
Yeah,
I'm going into a little bit personal.
It was more mailing list.
There was more mailing list, shit like that. See, we went up with flyers out.
Yeah.
You know, when I did a showcase at the store, you had to go make 100 flyers and go to every casting office by hand and go, hi, my name is Joey Diaz. I'm doing a showcase. And they blow smoke up your ass. Well, definitely. And you call an RSVP line, and the night of the show, you'd have one call from, like, your aunt. You know, it was embarrassing. But these are the things that you had to do to learn whether or not they failed. Look, I still remember Josh Wolf getting his one-man show and getting a deal from Fox. Within a month, the lineups all over town were one-man shows. Josh Wolf had changed the game, including me. Everybody was doing a one-man show because there was a new way to get your story out there. Gone were the days of, oh, Adam, you want a TV show. Well, tell me in your act about you being a dad and taking your kid to softball practice and describe your home life to me on stage.
Right.
Last night I had a couple of days ago we had O'Neill and Danish on here. We were about to talk about what happens to people when they move here. Some people take the material that they brought here and they stay true to themselves. And they do that material. Other materials, your agent gets to you and says, listen, you got to deal with CBS. This is the material you have to do. I know a gay comic that for years was in a CBS show. And CBS in his contract, he couldn't say that he was gay on stage.
Oh, he couldn't even say at any
That's
time.
crazy.
Okay, so this is 20 years ago, guys. It was a different fucking game.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that 97 to 2000 is a little bit of a change. And then
97 to about 2005, then the deal stopped.
Yeah.
And that made the game a little bit more even. What was going on was a guy like Lee would be in Boston. He had a great 15 minutes. This happened here for about 3 or 4 years. And it was a very frustrating time for older comics and for comics. I was very frustrated with it. But there was nothing I could do. The only thing I could do about it was I had two options. Think about it or be funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep going to the store, following Paul Mooney, getting buried, and being funny. So there was a thing here that if you were a good-looking male or a good-looking girl, 28, and you had 13 minutes. So I would go to Boston, and the Boston Comedy Club would put up their 13 open micers who they thought. And if I fell in love with Lee's look, I would take Lee and hide him, make him sign a contract, then take you to Montreal, hype you up. I would even hire a publicist for you for 3 months to hype you up a month before Montreal. So by the time you got to Montreal, they were all there to watch this amazing act, Lee Syatt. And then it became a bidding war. Okay? It became a bidding war. So next thing you know, Lee Syatt's got a check in the mail for $750,000. And he's got a commitment from fucking ABC to do a TV show.
Right.
Okay? Now,
right.
you sign the paperwork, you get the showrunner, you get the writers, and you write it. You write the first draft, they give you notes. You write the second draft, they give you more notes. Boom, you write the third draft, you submit it. Now after 3 months, you get a call, your pilot's getting shot.
What are we talking about?
This is what the process was.
Yeah, still is.
Now, do you know how much time that is by the time you get the deal to the pilot being shot?
Yeah.
A couple of years, maybe?
About a year and
Yeah.
2 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guess what? Your deal is over after a year.
Right. That was it.
So now they've already got the new Lee Syatt. So now, you got $750,000. You paid an agent. You paid a manager. You're the star of you're the new flavor of the month. But guess what? I can't do that with you
Yeah.
because you ain't got. I can't headline you.
But they would spend.
But they would. So now
They would.
You're a fucking clam. Yeah, you got me for $600,000.
Yeah, but let's say it's a network, right? Whatever one you were saying. Let's say CBS. All of them were doing 14, almost 20 pilots a season, spending, $20-30 million a year, hoping that one becomes that $100 million a year machine, becomes CSI or becomes whatever. So like that doesn't exist anymore, where they're all doing 15, 16 pilots every
Well,
season.
the network
like they
realized
used to.
in 2004 that they were picking the wrong comics.
Right.
Comics did not have the chops. These 13, 14-minute comics, 20-minute comics, 25-minute comics, they realized they did not have the chops to go into a room and deal with these people. They didn't know the system. They don't know the system. Number two, and then you have the biggest thing to overcome. Once you get the pilot, now the kid can't act. He's never acted before in his life. You know, they didn't prep you. Me, I'm a manager. I signed ARON KADER to a fucking 1-year deal. ABC gets a call and says, listen, every network show puts ARON KADER on. Every network show puts Aaron. Didn't fucking George Clooney start on Roseanne?
Yeah. No, he was on Facts of
ER.
Life.
Okay.
ER.
But
Facts of
before
Life.
ER, he was on Roseanne, like recurring. He was like the boyfriend or some shit like that. He was something. You all got to start in a small
Yeah.
place before they develop something around you.
Well, yeah, you know, you look back and you go, so what were my Clooney years? Oh, yeah, that's right. They were 2001 through 3, Comedy Store, guest star on Bernie Mac, speaking part on, you know what I mean? Those were my Clooney
It's
years.
crazy. And then you had
Little shit.
Then once they realized they were picking the wrong comics, they stopped giving deals altogether.
Yeah, that's what it felt
Okay,
like.
and that was perfect because
Yeah.
now nobody was getting lied to.
That was like 05, 06.
Right now, nobody was getting lied to anymore. So now
But see-
you had to fucking earn your keep, which was tremendous. Now a poor kid wouldn't hang himself.
But see, what I was also looking at was how much the world had changed that in that era because networks wanted to stay away from politics because it was just too divided. People were divided. The war was like at its peak in like 04, 06. 06 was really bad. That's when Bush was like did the surge, and then you know he was kind of a lame duck after that, and you know and then Obama wins, right? But I'm just saying that those last years of Bush, people were like outraged. It was political. It was crazy. Like, if we didn't have what we had today, you would look back and go, man, those were some crazy political times. I remember doing comedy during the recount when Bush won and beat Gore. They're doing a recount in Florida. Everybody had, like, recount jokes, you know, about, you know, poking the ballots. But, like, people would be burnt out on all the news, too. So it was a weird time politically to figure out, like, what's the difference between people who they come here to hear our point of view versus people who come and just want to get away from everything and hear, you know, evergreen jokes about, you know, fat jokes.
Let's pretend.
We're going in like fucking Marines, you understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.